Coach, what's Alperen Şengün's status?
He's out.
He's out.
So what are your starters for tonight?
I'm in Josh, Kevin, Jabari, Steven.
And it seemed like a lot of the NBA was kind of wary of signing Dillon after his Memphis ending. Why, I guess, didn't you guys share those same concerns?
There's a lot of positives, and you saw what he brought to the table with us. He's doing it in Phoenix as well, but I mean, some of the antics are, his own thing, and I don't mind the physicality, the edge, and toughness, and all the things he brought to our team. I think love him up a little bit, give him some responsibility, and he'll kind of ride with you and do some of the things you're asking. It may not have been the case in Memphis.
You're going to hit the quarter point of the season the next two nights. You're number 2 in defensive rating now. You started the year middle of the pack. What do you attribute the growth defensively to?
I think a big part was our transition early. A lot of turnovers, our rebounding. When the games that we lost, those two areas hurt, and those stood out in the early games. Detroit specifically, OKC as well. But once we cleaned that up and made teams have to score in the half court, I think our individual man-to-man defense has been better as well. So it's a combination of everything. I think you lose Fred and Dillon, and you have 3 new starters out there. It takes a little bit of time, and we want to figure out how to use guys and put Kevin and Jabari in some different situations. But felt good about our length and size overall. I think thought we figured out, and then Josh has been a nice surprise as well in there.
Hey Coach, talked to Dillon Brooks today at shoot around just about your relationship with him. It's very complimentary of you, saying you guys are like-minded. How would you describe your relationship?
Yeah, it's great for 2 years. That's pretty quick, in the NBA nowadays, and so hit it off obviously really well from day one. I was happy to have him join when I came on board, knowing what he brought to the table and what he's all about. But I think he's a guy that you see the response that he had from our guys in Phoenix, and admiration is mutual, no doubt. I think he's a guy that we all miss tremendously. This is the personality of the day-to-day, not just on the court, but kind of the way he approaches everything. And so, one of my favorites for sure.
What's it been like just seeing Steven this year after all the injuries he dealt with the past couple of years, putting a lot of that stuff behind him and being as impactful as he's been this season?
Yeah, it's been good. It was ramp up process last year. When you're out that long, you kind of got to get your legs rhythm, timing, all this stuff, conditioning back. And you saw it toward the end of the second half, toward the end of the season last year. And so we figured, within the off season of health and working on his game, his body, he's really in tune with himself. And he come back and kind of hit the ground running, carry over from last year. And so it's great to see that. Just looks more spry and youthful and all that stuff. And he still does the same thing that he does, but it's at a higher level now, just due to the fact that he can play extended minutes from the start of the season as opposed to 5-minute stretches last year.
Coach, you've talked about, I was asking about Colin Gillespie, and he's drawn the Peyton Pritchard comparisons, as far as being short and being able to get all the shots, shoot threes. Do you see that with Colin Gillespie? What stood out to you about him? Because obviously someone that hardly played when he first got in the league and now has been a factor for the Suns.
Yeah, he's taking a nice jump. You saw little flashes here and there in Denver, but much more opportunity, and he's really taking advantage of it. Been lighting it up lately. A little bit different than Peyton. I watched Peyton growing up and coached him, obviously, so Peyton's more one-on-one than him. The shooting stroke is there for Peyton to get a shot off quite a bit better, it seems, and much younger as well. But the opportunity, I think, the physical traits are what people are talking about, but shooting the ball well, like I said, taking advantage with the guys that are out right now. He's kind of him and Dillon been carrying the load there.
Is Steven out tomorrow for the back-to-back, or to be determined?
Yes.
Out.
Kevin's coming off a game where he had 8 assists and 0 turnovers. Of course, you've coached him before he came to Houston, so you know his game pretty well. Do you think that one of the most underrated parts of his game is how unselfish he is, even though he is a superstar player?
Yeah, you would say that because of the scoring numbers and the fact that he can get a bucket kind of whenever he wants. He still plays the right way. If teams are doubling, he'll make the hockey assist all day and kind of trust the teammates, not forcing a lot, and just his overall IQ and understanding of the game. We've seen it all, so that's definitely underrated. As long as he gets shots and doesn't turn it over, he's been really good all year as far as that. You see those assist numbers, but yeah, he's more well-rounded than just the normal scorer that you usually see.
Will that back-to-back restriction for Steven stay for the season? Will you reevaluate it at any point? How would you assess that?
Yeah, that's the plan for now, to not play him in any back-to-backs.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.